Bienvenidos and welcome back to Puro Pinche Gol, place we discuss all things USMNT y la selección mexicana. My name is Adrian, joining me once again on this Labor Day. It's my tocayo and co-host, Adrian. Adrian, what's up, man?
Hey, what's good, dude? Labor Day over here. Isn't it funny that it's Labor Day and you don't get to labor?
Yeah, I feel that, man. But a lot of news to cover this week. A lot of Liga MX action, some highs, some lows, but we're here to discuss in our Liga MX week 6, Jornada 6 preview or review here, recap. Adrian, man, a lot of big matches. I think, there was the battle of Los Felinos, Pumas, Tigres. We had a battle of La Ciudad de Mexico there, Cruzazul, America. Why don't we start with that one? Cruzazul, America. What a ramming, right? Cruzazul to
Yeah,
America.
no kidding, dude. The Clásico Joven. I don't even know why they call it Clásico Joven. And I was telling some of my buddies that that's just a stupid name. But I digress. Yeah, this was a big blowout by Cruz Azul. I think it's listen. I knew America wasn't playing necessarily great, and I thought it was gonna be like a tough match. I was not expecting a 4-1 victory of Cruz Azul. I think it's safe to say that America is right now under a crisis. The Campeonitis is finally sinking in with them, and Jardine is just having a hard time figuring out what to do. Right, even ever since the exit of Julian Quiñones, he's been struggling trying to find a replacement or who's taking that spot on team. And this match goes to show that he hasn't found yet that formation, that squad that is going to take him back to good performances, because he normally plays with a back of 4, and for this match he went to a back of 5. And he was putting like players like Brian Rodriguez, I think is his name, as a wing back when he's more of an offensive midfielder. So it was a complete mess by Jorginho and America, man.
Yeah, like you said, definitely still feeling the effects of losing one of their key players. And I think, we anticipated that after Campeón, after they're champion, they have the Campeonitis,
Yeah,
but, they won the Bicampeón, so now they're having the Bicampeonitis.
Benitez,
Finally,
yeah.
it feels like they are kind of, going down. I mean, after dominating for so long. But
I know, right?
big win for Cruz Azul, 4-1. Another one we mentioned, one of the highlights of the week, Pumas Tigres. Tigres ended up winning 3-1. Golazo from Goriaran. And also you got 2 goals, Osile Herrera. And who was the one that on the score sheet for Pumas? El Funes Muerto, Funes Mori. But ultimately, I think Pumas ended up with more shots, more possession, but Tigres ultimately scoring and getting a very important away victory.
Yeah, and for this match, normally when you see Tigres against Pumas, it's a situation where Tigres is going to win more often than usual. If you look at the last 10 matches, Pumas has only won 1 out of the last 10 matches against Tigres. There's a couple of draws here and there, but for the most time, Tigres ends up winning. Um, and I I didn't expect this to be kind of a walk in the park for Tigres, because it ended up being 1. And I don't know if you noticed, but Pumas is also not playing at noon anymore. This match was at 5 p.m.
Yep.
Mexico City time. So maybe this had an effect on Tigres as the opposition visiting Pumas. But yeah, Pumas has no head to be found. They're struggling out there, and they were coming up, or the fans of Pumas were like getting riled behind this team, thinking that we're going to have a decent season. But I think this was a reality hit to understand that the squad they have is not enough to be a competitive side on Liga MX. So that's on the Pumas side of things, man. I hate to, well, I don't hate to say this, but I think it's time for them to reckon that they are no longer a big team in Liga MX.
Yeah, I think they have enough to be a mid-table team, right, to qualify for La Liguilla. But once they face a Cruz Azul, a Tigres, Toluca even playing really well, beat Monterrey, they'll definitely struggle. But yeah, I think the changing of that, the fact that you said, that they don't play at noon anymore, you're thinking that favored Tigres.
Yeah, I think so, dude. Because normally most of the sides that play in Mexico City at noon, they always complain about how the heat is very oppressive and it's difficult for them to get used to. In addition to playing at a height, right? They're playing above sea level. It's perhaps one of the highest points in Mexico. So players like Andre Bergignac have always complained that it's a difficult environment for them to play, or for him specifically to play. So this could have an impact. It's well known that it was one of Pumas' advantages when playing at home. Uh, but I think it, if I'm not, if I read correctly and if I heard correctly, this seems to be the trend. I think they're gonna stop playing at noon, even at Toluca, because Toluca also used to play at noon. I think they're still playing at noon a few matches here and there, but the league is forcing them to play later because of the the heat exhaustion and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Toluca, they had one of the other important matches of the weekend against Monterrey. Ended up winning 2-1 there, and the big story there was Jesus Gallardo scoring in the 6th minute against Monterrey. But ultimately, a match where Monterrey dominated completely. Right? I
Yeah.
think they had like 70% possession, like more than triple, quadruple the shots. The 16 for Monterrey, 3 to Toluca. Shots on target for Toluca 2, and that's all they needed. But Martin de Michelis, the Argentine's debut. What
Mhm.
does this say for him going forward? And what does it say for Toluca? Are they contenders?
I think the Lucas is actually gearing up to be a contender for this tournament. Renato Paiva, the coach, he's doing a great job, not only sourcing players but also making sure that they understand his game style. I think it's going to be one of those teams that you got to be careful with, especially playing at home. Here on this match, they proved that they can play, that they can pretty much give away the ball and play counter on the counter attack, right? Because whenever Monterrey was giving them the ball and allowing them to build up the play, they didn't look too hot. So it's one of those things where if you allow Toluca to be their best at playing counter attack, you're gonna get hurt. But if you allow them to have the ball and keep it with them, they're gonna get desperate. So it's just one of the things that I noticed during the match. As far as the Michelis go, and this is something that I want to say because our boy Aldo Carrizales keeps saying that we always give crap to Monterrey, but I think Monterrey looked all right. I don't think they look bad. And contrary to what most of their fans think, that they are not doing great, that they need another striker. They just recently signed Lucas Ocampos, or they're about to confirm the signing of Lucas Ocampos from Sevilla. Um, I think they just need to be a little more lucky, and that's it. I honestly think Martin de Michelis will do a good job if given the time. This Fecha FIFA that is coming up will come super handy for him. Um, but they just need to be patient, man. They just need to be patient. They need to be patient and get behind Martin de Michelis, Brandon Vasquez, Sergio Canales, Oliver Torres, etc. Because you can tell that they know how to play. They understand the game style. They just need to get better physically and just be a little more lucky on
More
the finishing
clinical,
touches.
right?
Yeah, more clinical, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, Toluca defended very well, not taking away anything from them. Props to them. But yeah, I think it was a lack of being clinical in front of goal that ultimately did Monterrey in at that 2-1
And
loss.
Gallardo was flying, dude. I don't know what they're giving them out there in Toluca, but that boy was flying. Like it's been a while since I saw him like that. He's playing really well to, to the I guess the I guess not, or maybe the benefit of eltri, but not necessarily the benefit of the fans, right?
Le aplicó la ley del ex al Monterrey.
Exactly.
Rapid fire recap, man. Resumen de a couple of these matches here. Chivas completely dominating Juarez, right? Juarez, as we know, ultimately still without a win in 6 jornadas. Tijuana playing very well, showing, missing Juan Carlos Osorio, from La Selección, how that was such a big mistake, how this El Profe is, taking this team and having them play really well. We kind of mentioned in the first 3 jornadas, he was getting big results and then kind of died down a little. Remember, he got suspended for a couple games.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, he has them flying. And what can you tell us about, Pachuca? They're still in the rut, right?
Yeah, man, they're still struggling. I don't know what's going on with Pachuca. It looks like they're falling to pieces. Some people are saying that the team, like the squad, is getting tired of Almada, and it's well known that he has a very difficult personality that tends to pretty much take a toll on everyone around him. Just recently, before the start of this season, they his I think fitness coach or whatever we want to call it, whoever's in charge of keeping the players in top shape, right? Pretty much quit because of an argument with him, as far as getting more money, a few other things, but he just quit. And I mean, last match they lost 3-0 against Mazapan. They tied against Queretarito. They barely tied against Queretarito this time around. Querétaro is perhaps the worst team in Liga MX, and yet again you have Pachuca tying with them. So I don't know what's going on, dude. But this is not the Pachuca that we saw, 2 seasons ago.
Yep. And another good one for this weekend. That was, we had a couple good matches on Friday, right? Mazatlan Puebla 1
Yeah.
1. And like we said, San Luis beat Atlas 2-1 on Friday as well. Tijuana 2-1 has them flying, Jaco. Pachuca 1-1, Querétaro, like you mentioned. Guadalajara had that 5-0 win against Juarez. Monterrey lost 1-2 on Saturday. Cruzazul beat America 4-1 on Saturday. And yesterday, Sunday, Tigres beat Pumas 3-1. And wrapping up La Jornada 6 was Santos getting an important win, 3-2 against Necaxa. Much needed win
Yeah,
for them.
man. The La Liga de los Viernes, that includes, pretty much all the small teams in Liga MX, Santos, Necaxa, Mazatlán, Puebla. All of those were nice.
Put on a
Actually,
show.
very interesting matches to shoot to see. Very, very intense. Back and forth, and some late goals on both matches. So yeah.
Like goals, red cards, they had it all. Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Current standings here as we wrap up Jornada 6. Some teams have played 7 matches due to the League's Cup issue, as we talked about in a previous video. But Cruzazul has 16 points with 6 played. Tigres has 6 played with 14 points in second place. Toluca has 6 games played with 14 points. Tijuana has 7 games played, as well as Monterrey with 7 games, 14 points with Tijuana, 13 for Monterrey, respectively. Guadalajara wraps up the top 6 positions with 6 games played and 11 points. And then in the repechaje kind of standings here is San Luis in 7th, Atlas in 8th, 9th is Pumas, and 10th is Puebla. 11 points for Atlas and San Luis, and 10 points for Pumas, and Puebla wraps up top 10 with 8th. And then, as we mentioned, man, the 16, 17, and 18 still without a win. Leon,
That's
Juarez,
crazy.
and Querétaro, right?
Yeah.
And
they
seeing... Sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry. Please go ahead.
I was going to say, and seeing America in 12th place, like you said, I mean, they're in free fall.
Crazy. Yeah. So far, we have had 2 coaches being sacked. One of them being Monterrey, Fernando Ortiz. The second one, what just happened, Baba from León got canned. I am still surprised that Mauricio Barbieri from Juarez is not getting the can. I am not too sure how long he's going to be able to last, but I am still appalled that he is not getting sacked, dude. No wins, 1 draw, 5 losses. Is what, negative 11 goals against.
Yep.
Or whatever. I don't know. It's a tough one, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that carousel of managers will be getting bigger as the season goes on, as we always know. There's always like a 5 or 6 at least per season that just
yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they caught Mauricio Guerra from Querétaro, Juarez, Mauricio Barbieri, and perhaps the Pumas one, Atlas. Wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
How are the scorers looking as we wrap up Jornada 6?
All right, the top 5 we have Henry Martin, Paulinho, Lucas Cavallini, and Raúl Zúñiga all tied with 4. In the 5th place, we have Carlos Rotondi from Cruz Azul. Top assists, we have 2 tied up at the top with Jesus Angulo from Tigres and Jesus Vega from Cholos de Tijuana with 3. Gonzalo Piovi and Paulinho from Toluca, Piovi from Cruz Azul with 2. And last, Agustín Palavecino from Necaxa with 2 as well. And as far as clean sheet goes, we have Jose Raúl Rangel from Chivas with 4 clean sheets, Kevin Mier from Cruz Azul with 4, Teo Volpi from Toluca with 2, Carlos Moreno with 2 from Pachuca, and Esteban Andrada from Monterrey with 2 as well.
Then, as we wrap up this episode, let's do a quick preview of our Jornada 7. Let's see what the matches are, and I'd like to see what your thoughts are on each one. Who do you think is winning this match? Starting off on September 13th, Friday. As you guys know, we do have a gap, right, between Jornada 6 and Jornada 7 because of international matches. But Puebla resumes Jornada 7 for us on Friday, September 13th against Querétaro. Atlas vs Pachuca, same Friday, and Juarez Mazatlan on Friday. And Tigres and San Luis also play Friday, and Necaxa Pumas. Yep. Toluca plays Club Tijuana on Saturday. Clubamerica and Guadalajara Clásico Nacional on Saturday, September 14th. Should be an interesting one. How the 2 complete opposite teams, right? One's coming down, one's going up. León Cruzazul, and the last match Santos Monterrey on 9:45 Central Time, September 14th, Saturday. Adrian, what do you got? Puebla Querétaro.
I think it's gonna be Puebla 1-0, man.
All right, Atlas Pachuca.
Yeah. Tie 0-0.
Juarez Mazatlan.
I'm gonna say Mazatlan 1-0, dude.
The biggest game of the weekend. Tigres hosting San Luis.
1-1.
Necaxa Pumas.
I'm gonna say Necaxa wins 2-1.
Toluca Tijuana should be a good.
Toluca destroys. Yeah, I think Toluca's gonna destroy Club Tijuana 3-0, man.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Guadalajara America.
Well, this is gonna be a close one. I anticipate a 2-2. I think a 2-2 seems okay. Yeah.
The top of the table versus the bottom. Cruz Azul León.
Cruz Azul gotta destroy León. So 3-1, 4-2, whatever you name it. I think it's gonna be a win by 3 goals.
And wrapping it up, Monterrey Santos.
I think Monterrey takes it home 1-0.
All right. Jornada 7 has a lot of good, interesting matches for us,
Yeah.
definitely. So be sure to, enjoy the international break and then hit it back up on Jornada 7 on Friday, September 13th. At the end, man, as we wrap up this, any closing remarks?
It's we just got Liga MX back, and now we're gonna get 2 weeks off. Kind of sucks, but hey, it is what it is. Stick with us on these weekly recaps. Let us know in the comments what do you think. And yeah, just kind of sad again that we're gonna have to have a hiatus.
Yeah, interesting to see the Vasco and Rafa experiment though. So that'll at least give us something to watch for.
Yeah.
But as we wrap up this episode, Adrian, where can listeners find us, dude?
They can always find us on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and turn on the notifications. You can also find us on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast on. Last but not least, you can also find us on Instagram and TikTok. We post latest news, memes, and shorts of our episodes.
Yeah, so be sure to follow us on your preferred social media platform of choice, and let us know in the comments below. What was your big match of the weekend from Jornada 6? Who's your team? Who are you following? How's your team doing? And let us know in the comments. Do you enjoy these weekly Liga MX recap videos? We definitely enjoy making them for you guys. Adrian, another good episode. See you next one, bro.
Take it easy, my friend.
See ya.
Deuce.